Good morning, Cadre. Welcome to day number 6, I believe, of the tour of Saponificio Varesino. Today we're going to go from the lovely area of Sardinia and Corsica, and now we are going to go to a Sicilian area known as the Park of Madonna. It is between the towns of Castelbuono and Polina. And the reason why we're doing that is MANNA de Sicilia, another 4.3 beta that doesn't get a lot of play. And the MANNA de Sicilia is actually a sap that comes from a tree, an ash tree in this park. And it mixes and it creates a skin softening emollient because, as you know, SV's chemists are always looking for the best facial feel and the best skin properties. And this mixes with the notes to create what I think is kind of like a little bit of a pipe tobacco, almost like a Virginia Flake, but a smooth tobacco type hint that also has that Italian cologne base. So the notes of this little concerto are, your top notes are orange, bergamot, and sage. So citrusy, and then you have a little bit of sharpness from the sage. It's followed by kind of a honeyish sweetness because you have hydrangea, cloves, and rose, and those mix to make kind of a honey flavor, and mixed with that sage gives it that pipe tobacco type vibe. And then on the bottom you have cedar and sweet patchouli, which gives it even more of that creaminess that you get from a pipe. Once again, the 4.3 version has all of the skin properties that we've spoken of before. So today, once again, the soap is going to be the MANNA de Sicilia, and this is in one of their, because it is one of the pet type soaps, so you will need a container, and this is one of their wooden containers. The MANNA de Sicilia aftershave. Now, the aftershave is a little bit different because the MANNA mixing with all this stuff really creates almost an EDT. It's stronger, but this one needs to be shaken really well because of the plant additives. I'm going to be using a razor I have not used in a long time, and basically it's the same exact thing as a Gillette new long comb. However, it's made by a gentleman by the name of Otto Roth, and I think Gillette bought them out to create more of the long combs. And then, of course, we'll be using our SV 2.0 in tortoise, and then, of course, doing some talc as well. So that's kind of the agenda for today. Well, for those that were asking, the fire is a little over 37,000 acres now. They do have it 40% contained. However, today is another critical fire day for temperatures and wind. And the town of Oracle, which is north of us, is under evacuation right now. And we're still in pre-evacuation because there's a western flank of the fire that borders the mountains, because our mountain range is like a big triangle, and we're on that western front range. And so they came out of the city of Tucson. Most of the city places in the city of Tucson have been taken off of pre-evacuation, and they're on ready status now. As is the case with all the 4.3 soaps, a little bit of water added, but the face feel is really nice. And you get that spicy tobacco hint with a little bit of the sweetness. I don't detect any clove or rose. I think they're just used as blending notes for this. And anybody who's been around DE shaving for a while, I'll tell you that the news, in my opinion, especially the long comb, is just a tremendous razor. And I've got a brand new Boscott blade in today, because, as I said, I have not used this razor in forever. As is expected with the 4.3, the slickness is amazing. And again, with the newer versions, you do get a lot more fragrance. During the shave. And just great post-shave slickness. Like I said, these the MANNA de Sicilia is one that, just like Murto de Sardegna, isn't, you know, on the top of their popularity list, and it's too bad because they're both wonderful soaps. It's just they're spicy. This is when I never had an agenda on which soaps I was going to use, but it kind of turned out that the Murto, the MANNA, and the one I will be doing tomorrow, which is a very popular one, Dolomiti, are very spicy in their character. Excuse me. The Auto Roth new, or the Gillette new, the long open comb, very easy razor to use. Very close shave. However, you do need to pay some attention because they can, I would call these medium aggressive. Well, like any other open comb. Depending on the angle, you can get some problems. And on the second pass, I can really start to detect the cedar and the sweet patchouli. Because I'm not a huge patchouli fan by itself, but the sweet patchouli is actually kind of nice. But it's mixing with those other notes. This is all for those of you that really like Penhaligon sartorial. You could make the comparison. I mean, sartorial is much more honey forward and sweet. But if you were to take sartorial and shave with it while smoking a pipe, you might be in the same neighborhood. And as all the 4.3s, they're super easy to lather. And with the right water, plenty of in-shave and post-shave slickness. I'll be posting later this evening the sign up, although you really don't need to sign up, just to get an idea how many, for the Sunday Old Guys Zoom call. We're going to be discussing, you know, as things open up, the continuation of the Zoom calls. I think most people want them, but the frequency of the Zoom calls, since we have kind of the night that you go to the bar, so to speak, Zoom call, and then you got the afternoon where you just go hang out at the country club type Zoom call. And we're going to talk about the frequency of, you know, whether we want to start doing them every other week, alternate, you know, a night one and then an afternoon one, or both, because people start getting back to work, they may not have the time. But like I said, it's member driven. The last Zoom call on Wednesday, it was discussed that maybe alternating, you know, 1 week on a Wednesday, 1 week on a Sunday. But we'll see how you guys want it, because the Zoom calls have been very popular, and I think as we get out of this craziness that we're in, I think people still want that connection. But so we'll talk about that. So that's what you're missing on the Zoom call, so please join us. Okay, that was 3 passes. And like I said, with not having used the new in a long time, pretty good. My angles were probably a little bit off because I hadn't been used to it. But post shave, very easy to do. A little bit of cleanup with no soap. Yeah, very nice. I would rate that DSBBS. And still getting, you know, it's a lighter scent from the soap, but the additional sap from the ash does give you a very nice hydrated post shave, in my opinion, and especially in our dry climate, because our dew points today, this morning, were negative 11 degrees, so we're dry, and to have that face feel is pretty nice. Once again, with the MANNA de Sicilia aftershave, it is part of the 4.3 program. It does have the natural alcohols, but it's got a bunch of plant extracts in it, so you definitely want to shake this up pretty good. And again, with the 4.3 versions, and really most of the SV aftershaves, just a couple of drops, and then rub it well into the skin. But definitely a tobacco note. This one absorbs a little bit faster than most of the others, but will leave your face feeling really good. While that dries down, I'll clean out the brush. And I think, I'm not sure as of this morning, but as of last night, I think we were sitting at 29 of the Saponificio Varesino TSC exclusive brushes sold. And we still have until the 26th, because that's when the cutoff will be, so we can get that off to SV to get into production. So we're very excited about that. We're very, very thankful to you guys for supporting this project, because I think it's going to be huge, especially going forward. Okay, we're going to use some talc today, as I'm calling it, the Cloud Alliance. And somebody had asked earlier in the week, I think, or last week, about what type of brush to use for the talc. Well, I prefer a shaving brush. I prefer a soft badger or a synthetic, because, you know, no matter how you do it, as you push the brush down on your face, the hair fibers are going to go into your follicle, your pores. So a softer brush is better. I use a synthetic at the shop, obviously, because it's easier to clean. But a badger is nice. And it just, like I said, and people are already starting to see that it adds a beautiful finish to the shave. So, okay, folks, day number whatever is in the books with MANNA de Sicilia. The difference is with this one, it's more of a tobacco, a sweet, almost a sweet tobacco, but not cloyingly sweet. I say pipe tobacco is the best way I can describe it. lighter of a scent, but you can use more of the aftershave in the heat spots for an EDT. And just a wonderful 4.3 version. And as we continue our tour tomorrow, will be Dolomiti, which is one of the favorites and a very spicy, neat note. Plus, it's got an interesting ingredient in it that we'll go over tomorrow. Once again, thank you for being members of theshavingcadre.com. We certainly appreciate it. We'd love to see you if you haven't seen us before and you're seeing us for the first time on this YouTube channel at www.theshavingcadre.com. And for this product and all SV products, go to www.saponificio.com. Thank you and have a wonderful day.